Welcome Tamers. In today's deck profile video, I'll be going over the new DarkKnightmon deck. It's not necessarily new, but it did get a lot of support on Special Booster version 2.0. So we'll be going over the different ratios that we're running, also and the new cards from the set that we're including, which is the new DarkKnightmon, the new Nene Amano Tamer that lets you cross with Twilight and Composite, and also some of the new top end, which would be level 6s, DarkKnightmon Ace, and Shadow Serafi. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave those down below and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Alright, and just to get started, we'll be going over the decks. So to start off, we are running 4 copies of the new Monimon egg. This is a promo that you get for participating in the tournaments. So it's from the tournament packs. And then it has an on deletion. If you have Black Tamer, draw 1. So this one is a generally good egg, just because we're always gonna have a Tamer. I know that you could also run the Pagumon, that on deletion. If it's a Digimon, it's a Black Digimon, you get to add it to hand. But unfortunately, sometimes that one might whiff because you might hit a Tamer, right? And then you have to bottom deck it. Maybe it's like one of the cross ones that you need. So we're trying out the new Monimon egg to start. Then next, going into our rookies, we are running 4 copies of the new Monidamon egg. Monimon level 3. This one is 3 cost 1k. It heals for 0 on top of a black level 2. Then it has an on deletion. You reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, add 1 card with Nightmon in its text with a Twilight trait to the hand, and place 1 such card under one of your Tamers, and then return the rest to the bottom of the deck, and then inherit its reboot. So this one is the searcher from the new set. Basically paying 3 to reveal top 3. You add 1 to hand and you tuck 1 underneath. Right, it's a good way for you to get set up when you have a Tamer, and then also like start putting things underneath your Nenes so that you're able to cross. So we're running that one at 4, and then next we have another 4 copies of the BT10 Monidamon. This one is also 3 cost 1k, 2k. It was for 0 on top of a black egg. And then on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards with that are either black with Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in their names, or Twilight in their traits among them to the hand. Play the rest of the bottom deck in any order. No inherit on this one, but it's another searcher. Lets you add 2 targets to hand, right? As long as they have Nightmon or Deadly Axemon in their names, which most of the deck does. So we're running that one at 4. So we're only running 8 rookies. Next up, we're going into the level 4s, which is a lot. The deck tends to run a lot of level 4s. But we're running 4 copies of the BT10 Skull Knightmon Mighty Axe mode. This one is treated as both Skull Knight and a Deadly Axe. It's a 4 cost 5k. It evils for 3 on top of a level 3 that's black. And then on play, you reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Nightmon in its name, 1 Deadly Axemon or Nene Amano among them to your hand. Trash the rest, and then if you digicross with 2, you delete 1 opponent's Digimon play cost 4 or less, and then digicross -1 if you have a Skull Knight and a Deadly Axe. So this is what we want to use when searching for our pieces, right? We could play this out for 2, right? If we have both the Skull Knight and the Deadly Axe, keeping turn, revealing top 3, adding at least 1 target, right, to our hand, then trashing. And then if we did have both sources to digicross, we can pop maybe like a Psychmon or something that's stopping us from playing out Digimon by FX, like a Pillowmon. So run that one at 4. Next, we're running 2 copies of the promo Skull Knight. This one is a 4 cost 4k. It's evils for 3 on top of a black and a purple level 3. Then as on deletion, you could play out a Tamer card with a Mano in its name from your hand without paying the cost, and then save. Then inherit is that if it's your turn, while this Digimon has background army with a Twilight trait and is a level 5 or higher, it gains secure attack +1. So this is what makes our Dark Knights swing for 2 checks. Also, it's a good way for you to like just hard drop this for 4 if you have to, right? Hope your opponent kills it, or next turn try to swing on security, hope it dies, for you to actually play out a Tamer. And that way you could then save under it. So setting up those plays for you to have the tamer ready to go. Next, we are running 3 copies of the old BT7 Skull Knight. So forecast 3k, heals for 2 on top of Blacklist level 3. Then as a when attacking, you may trash all of the Digivolution cards of one of your Deadly Axemon and place it at the bottom of this Digimon's Evolution cards to Digivolve into a Dark Knight in your hand without paying its memory costs. And then while this Digimon has Knightmon or Bagramon in its name, against secure attack +1. So most of the time we're never going to do the when attacking, just because we're going to be using it to cross into our Dark Knight. And then this one actually gives us the secure attack +1, as long as it has Skull Knight. Sorry, as long as it has Knightmon or Bagramon in its name, right? So we're running this one at 3. Next, another level 4, we're going into 4 copies of also the BT7 Deadly Axemon. This one's a forecast 3k, same thing as the other one where evils for 2 on top of a black. And then on play, you dig 5. So reveal top 5 cards of your deck. You could add 2 cards with Knightmon in their names among them to the hand, place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then your turn, while this Digimon has Knightmon or Bagramon in its name, it gains 2k DP. So it's a good way to beef up your stacks. Instead of being like 10k or 9k, you're 11k swinging. And also the fact that you dig 5 deep to grab 2 things is good. Next, we are running 1 copy of the new promo Male Dramon, not Bird Dramon. The key thing is Blue Flare. So this one is a forecast 4k. It was for 2 on top of black level 3. Then it has an all turns. Then this did get errated. So when any of your Digimon with a Knightmon in their text will leave the battle area by your opponent's effects, by placing this Digimon as any of those Digimon's battle train cards, they don't leave. So instead of being plural like they don't leave, it only works on the stack that you tuck under. So if you have 3 different Dark Knights and then this on the field, when let's say they would bounce one of them back to hand, or maybe they were gonna pop everything with the same play cost, as long as you tuck this underneath one of the stacks, the stack that you tucked in underneath doesn't leave the battlefield. Everything else does, but the stack that this has under it, it's under, gets protected. Then inherit is just blocker, so good blocker inherit, right? Next, we're running 2 copies of the EX4 Deadly Axemon. This one's a forecast 4k. This one's evils for 3 on top of a black or blue level 3. Then it has an on play that you trash 1 card with Blue Flare or Twilight in your hand. Twilight trade in your hand, you draw 2. It's a good pitch 1, draw 2. And then on deletion, reveal top card to your deck. If that card has Blue Flare or Twilight trade, add it to your hand, trash the rest. Most of the time you'll be hitting the target of it being Twilight because everything in the deck is Twilight. And then alternates, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So we're running this one at 2. We are running 1 copy of the new BT18-19 Deadly Axemon. This one is forecast 4k, evils for 3 on top of purple and a black. And then it has retaliation. And then on deletion, save. And then inherit is reboot. I was thinking of running this and then a copy of the new Skull Knightmon from BT19. That one gives you blocker and then on deletion save. It's a good card. Next, we're running 1 copy of the Skull Knight Cavalier mode. This one's from BT8. It's forecast 5k. It evils for 3 on top of a level 3, but if it's a level 4, it evils for 1, so we could technically evil on top of all of 4s for 1. And then it's also treated as both Skull Knight, and Deadly Axemon. And then when digivolving, this Digimon gains blocker and jamming. So we could promote Evo for 3, maybe we have a memory center, keep turn, swing, jamming, and then we could use this as a digicross into a Dark Knight, right? So running the 1 of, that would be all for the level 4s. We're running 3, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 18 level 4s. That's a lot, but we do need to see most of them just to cycle through our deck and everything. Next up, we're going to our level 5s. We're running 4 of the old BT10 Dark Knight. This is a cost 7k. It's evils for 4 on top of a level 4 that's black, and then on play it's you digivolve 1, and if you digicross with 2 cards, then you delete an opponent's Digimon with a play cost 5 or less. And then all turns when this Digimon will leave the battle area, or when this Digimon will be deleted, by returning one level 4 or lower black Digimon card from this Digimon's fusion cards to the hand. You may play a Skull Knight or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon's fusion cards without paying the costs. And then Digicross 2, Skull Knight, and Deadly Axe. So we'll be paying this for 4 if we actually do cross with both Digimon. The alterns is cool because when it will die, right? You grab something back to your hand and then you play out something else in source. So you have ways to like maybe play out a Skull Knight Mighty Axe mode, right? And grab the Skull Knight back to hand, play this one out, search top 3, add a card, right? And if you have another one in hand, you could cross into it to pop something. Also the Digivolve is really strong, so we're running this one at 4. Next we have 4 copies of the new BT18-19 Dark Knight. This one costs 8k. This one does have material save, so you can actually save one of the things in source, right? So that you use for Digicross, and it also crosses with Skull Knight and Deadly Axe. Most of the Dark Knights actually do, the majority, which is only like what, 2. And then on play when Digivolving, right? You could even, instead of just being straight Digicross, even when Digivolving would trigger the Digivolve 1. But if you Digicross with 2 cards, you could delete a 3 cost or lower Digimon or Tamer. So not just a Digimon, you can actually pop a Tamer, which is something that we want to do with one of our Tamers right now. I'll go over that in a bit. And then it has an on deletion that you may play. First, you would material save, right? You would under one of your Tamers. And then you may play one level 4 lower Digimon card with the Knightmon in its text from under your Tamers without paying the cost. So then you could material save maybe the Skull Knight onto the Nene or whichever Tamer you have, and then on deletion trigger you play it out, right? So it's really good. And then inherit is on deletion, you may play a level 4 lower card with Knightmon in its text from your trash without paying the cost. So this allows us to play things from our trash, right? Either to dig more, or maybe we needed another cross material, so we could do that to cross with 2 things, right? And then this one we're running at a 4, so we're only running 8 level 5s. Next, going into our 6s, we are running 2 copies of the old BT10 DarkKnightmon X. This is a 13 cost 12k, it evolves for 5 on top of black and a purple Digimon, that's level 5. But if it's Dark Knight, it evolves for 4, so it's 1 less. And then when Digivolving, you return a black or purple Digimon card other than DarkKnightmon, X antibody from your trash to the hand. Then if DarkKnightmon or X antibodies in this Digimon's evolution cards, delete one Tamer and unsuspend this Digimon. Straight Tamer hate. We could pop one of the Tamers and restand, and if we have blocker, we'll have a 12k blocker. And then it has an on deletion that you may play a Dark Knightmon from your trash without paying the cost. So this allows us to just hard drop another Dark Knight, Digicross, and they Digivolve their sack, pop something else if we need to. So we're running this one at 2. Next, I have 1 copy of the new Lord Knightmon Ace. This one's a 7 cost 12k, goes for 4 on top of both black and purple. And then Blast Digivolve, right? When Digivolving, you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Knightmon in its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. And then all turns, all Digimon with as much or less ZP as the Digimon gain collision. So this is a good way for you to cheese out another Dark Knight, right? Opponent swings, you blast to one of your Dark Knights, play out another Dark Knight, you Digivolve their sack, and then all your Digimon gain collision. So hopefully you're bigger than them and you could actually protect it. You just block and kill their sack. So we're running just the one of the overflow is for 4, right? So just one of these. Next we have 1 copy of Shadow Seraphimon, another 7 cost 12k. This one is 4 on top of a level 5 that's black and yellow. And then this one has blocker inherently. And then on play when Digivolving, Digivolve 3 one of your opponent's Digimon. So Digivolve 3 just straight up strong. And then all turns when an attack target is changed, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5000 DP for the turn. So you can Digivolve 3, give it minus 5, kill the sack, right? It's a good way to get around like maybe protection from Magna X when they're swinging. Let's say they don't have the Nyaromon egg to charge their own security. maybe it's blue base, they swing a security, you ace them, digivolve 3, and then you -5, right? If you have the blocker inherit. So we're running this one at 1. I was thinking of running 2 of them. I think the list I was looking at had 2. I just only have the 1 copy, so I've been trying just the 1 copy, but I think 2 would be really good in the deck. Next, going into our Tamers, we're running 3 copies of the new Nania Mono Tamer, which is a 4 cost Tamer, memory setter, and then whenever you would cross into a Digimon with Twilight or composite trait, you could suspend her to use both one from source and one from trash. So this one allows us to start at 3 and also cross from both trash, right? Next, we have 3 copies of the Nania Mono from BT10. Keep stacking them in the corner over here. And then this one's a 3 cost Tamer, and then it has an on play that you reel top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Knightmon or Deadly X-Mon in its name or Twilight in its traits among them to the hand. You place the rest of the bottom of your deck, and then opponent's turn, all your Digimon with Dark Knight in their names or Twilight in their traits gain blocker, so all your Digimon are blocker, right? Kind of makes the other Skull Knightmon from BT19 redundant just because it has blocker, but sometimes we don't have this Tamer, right? So we need something with blocker, so that's why I was thinking of maybe adding one of those. But this inherently gives everything we have blocker, and then on deletion you gain 2 memory. So both the Dark Knight X pop a Tamer, so we could pop the Nene to gain 2 memory, keep turn essentially if we pass them at 2, right? Or if we are using the new Dark Knight, right, when we cross with 2 Digimon, we could pop a Tamer, so we could still keep turn if we pop our Nene. So this one we're running it at 3. Next we are running 3 copies of the old EX4, Kiriha, Anoma, and Nania Mono, 4 cost, and then it's also both treated as Kiriha and Nene. And then on start of your turn, if your opponent there's more than 2 Digimon, or at least there's 2 Digimon on the field, gain a memory. And then all turns, this is the same as the other Nene, where if you're trying to Digicross with Blueflare or Twilight, you can suspend this Tamer to use from underneath your Tamers and also from trash. Right, so this allows us to gain an extra memory at the start of our turn and also Digicross from the trash. So we're running it at 3. Moving on to our options, we are running 1 copy of Immortal Ruler. This is a 0 cost option from BT10, and then it's while you have a Nania Mono in play, you may use this card without meeting its card requirements, and then main trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play 1 DarkKnightmon from your trash for its play cost, and if you play a Digimon card with Digicross requirements by this effect, you may also use its place cards from your trash for the Digicross. So this allows us to play out a Dark Knight for 8, but then able to use Digicross materials from trash. So we're able to play out another body off of 0 cost. So if we're at 3 or we're at 4, we Digicross, right, for the same cost using our trash. So in case we don't have any materials in hand, we can use this to play it out. So we're running this one at 1. And then lastly, for the deck, we are running 2 copies of Feast of Athena, the new BT18 option for Lord Knight. And then this is a 3 cost option. While you have a Digimon with Knightmon in its text, you may ignore this card's color requirements. And then main, until the end of your opponent's turn, give one of their Digimons start main phase Digimon attacks, then place this card in the battle area. And then all turns when an attack turn gets changed, delay one of your Digimon gains piercing and secret attack +1 until the end of your turn, right? And then security is you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with Knightmon in its text from your trash without paying the cost, and place this card in the battle area. So this allows us to ping the opponent Digimon to swing at the start of their main, and then once we, let's say we're at Dark Knight, we pay this for 3, force them to swing on their start of the main. They swing, we could Shadow Serafi, we can Digivolve by 3. After we block, we could trigger the delay on this to give something piercing and secure attack +1 until the end of our turn. So even though it got triggered on their end, it's not our turn. So once it's our turn, the Digimon will still have piercing and secure attack +1. And then if we have the Lord Knightmon Ace, everything gains collision, so we're able to force them to block, and then pierce and do our secret attack +1. So we're running this one at 2. A few techs that I mentioned in the video that I wanted to do were the Skull Knight from BT19. That one is one of them. Another one, it's probably running another copy of Shadow Serafi. I do feel that the deck struggles a lot with the Digivolve and also with bounce. So blue, it's a really bad matchup for us just because they're able to bounce everything back to our hand. Deletion is also another thing that we have no protection for, but the fact that we get to save under Ether Tamers to reuse materials is nice, so it doesn't really affect us much. I only have ways to bring things back from the grave. What else? Maybe running the new Lord Knight X is a good one, but I do like how the deck is running. And that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave those down below. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe. And we're almost close to hitting 100 subs. Really appreciate everybody that's liked, commented, or even just watched the video. I'll try to keep making more videos, right? And I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.